Hey y'all. Hey Gallivanters. So today we have some of our favorite vloggers, YouTubers, travelers. We have the delightful travelers, Anna and Trevor. And thank you so much for, doing this for us. But why don't you just tell us a little bit about yourself and your channel?
Hi, Melinda and Tracey. Thank you for inviting us to be here. We're excited. My name is Anna. This is Trevor. We are the delightful travelers. We travel a lot.
Yeah, we travel about half of the year, maybe a little more than that now, usually for 2 or 3 months at a time. And then after each trip, we kind of go back to Canada, produce content, chill out a little bit, and then we get the urge to go travel once again. So that seems to be what we do. We travel all around the world as much as we possibly can.
And along the way, we happen to film it. We do a lot of food videos, travel guides, that kind of thing.
Yeah, we just try to help others travel as well and try to inspire others to get out there and just see the beautiful world.
So you guys travel a lot like we do, where you travel for a few months and then you go home and then travel again. But right now, you're in lockdown in the Philippines. So tell us, what's that like?
So as we said, we kind of travel in like 2 or 3 month increments and then go home. This time around, we decided to come back to Southeast Asia. We've been here before. We wanted to come back and see some new countries.
Yep.
We came around February 1st, something like that. Went to Bali, spent a month there. Everything was kind of normal.
Things were okay
Nothing too concerning.
Yeah.
And then we came to the Philippines on, I think it was March 5th. Went to Manila. Things were a little stricter, but still not too crazy. Went to Coron, which is here in Palawan, which is where we are now, the island that we're on now. And while we were there is when the lockdown was announced here in the Philippines. Things kind of went into mass chaos.
Yeah, we were on a tour that day in Coron. And when we got back, we heard that there was like a town hall meeting, and they basically said everyone has to leave. At that point, the president was on television and said,
saying everybody has to leave.
Yeah, you have 2 days.
The whole country's going to lock down.
But in 2 days, you had to get out of the country. So we had a very important decision to make in front of us. We knew it was going to be very chaotic. We knew we didn't want to be to put ourselves in danger of the virus. It didn't seem like the smartest thing to get on a plane right without just thinking more about what we wanted to do.
And we didn't have a flight home, obviously, booked, so we would have had to probably hop around various airports that were in the process of locking down as well. So we were very concerned that we'd get stuck somewhere.
So we also had a flight just by chance booked to come to El Nido, which is where we are now for for the last 2 months. And that was good because we knew at that point, we could have abandoned that flight, but we knew El Nido was more stocked with food and supplies.
So Coron, where we are before, is an island off of Palawan, which is considered part of the province of Palawan, but it's on its own. Whereas El Nido is on the very north
like the tip
island.
of Palawan. Yeah, so there's a lot of expats here as well. It's a very touristic area. If you ever come to the Philippines, this is probably going to be on your list for sure. I think if you look anything,
it's definitely one of the top places to visit in the Philippines for sure.
It's absolutely beautiful. So yeah, here we are. We got to El Nido at the time, just like everyone else in the world. We weren't sure how serious. Like, we knew things were serious, but were we going to be locked down for 2 weeks? We're on an island. Could we roam around Palawan? That was our hope at the time. Of course, none of that has happened, and we've been stuck quarantining here, not doing much. It's a pretty strict lockdown here.
Yeah, and when we first got here, we found an apartment in town. It's a really nice apartment that had a kitchen and everything, but the outdoor space was pretty limited. It was just basically a wall and no sunlight. And when the lockdown happened, we didn't really know what was going to happen. We kept hearing rumors, and at some point somebody said, you might not be able to leave at all your apartment, and you're going to have to get groceries delivered and that kind of thing. And we're like, maybe we need to be somewhere with more outdoor space. And thankfully, we found the resort that we've been at for the past 2 months.
Yeah, this place has been great. I mean, I think you guys have seen the videos, so I think it was a wise move on our part. The only thing we don't have is a kitchen, but the trade-off is an outdoor space instead of being just in a room not seeing.
And they've drastically discounted it for us, so we're not paying too much money to be here.
So here we are, just waiting it out now, like everyone else. The rest of the world seems to be loosening up a little bit. With here, not so much. There's talk of it, but nothing has really happened yet, like significantly.
And one of our biggest challenges has definitely been trying to get information.
Yes.
So we've been going on quarantines for, I think they make them at like 2-week increments.
Yeah.
We just went into a new one, and there's supposed to be new rules, but they haven't come out with them. And other cities have definitely, like even nearby cities, have made their rules a little bit more lax than they
Yeah.
are right now. But
Not
here in
here.
El Nido, they haven't announced anything. So it's been a little frustrating in that sense, just that we can't seem to get information. People will message us and be like, "You're free, you can do
Yeah.
whatever you want." And we're like, no, I don't think so.
So that's where we are right now. It pretty much brings you up to real time.
Yeah.
We're just waiting for some new rules.
So I guess question number 2 would be, what are you doing to kind of maintain your sanity?
So we are trying to keep as busy as we can during this lockdown, just to keep our mind off it, try not to think about it too much. There are some days where we're so busy just with doing work and filming videos and working on, we have a web design business as well, that honestly I almost forget about it some days, and they're like my favorite days because I forget there's a virus happening. But
Yeah.
of course you open a website and it's all you see is news on the coronavirus. So we're just trying to stay productive, I would say.
Yeah, and we've definitely got into a routine, which helps. I find the days pass really, really quickly.
Yeah.
Even the weeks passed. I can't believe it's been 2 months here
2
already.
months here in one
Gone
place.
by relatively quickly.
It's been going fast, yeah. So we've been trying to work out regularly. We're eating more though, sure, like most
Yeah.
people are. So that's
Drinking more.
Yeah, I mean that's one of those things when you're stuck down and there's a pandemic. Hey, it's the first pandemic. You just seem to maybe there's a few more drinks, maybe there's a few more types of different
At least
food.
we know we're not going to be the only ones that gain a few pounds during this
Yeah.
pandemic.
Yeah, but we are still trying to work out. We work at certain times of the day. We're trying to keep that routine. Every night we try to catch sunset from our pool, which is one of the best things.
Yeah, definitely a favorite time of the day.
Yeah, and now we can go into town now for provisions together, and there are some places that are starting to open just that have good coffee.
Oh,
and
we
things
had
like
our first iced latte in 2 months the other day, which was a super treat.
that. We sound like such fancy people with our iced lattes, but that was the first one in a very long time.
Yeah.
It was delicious.
Yeah, I think all of us may be in that boat of putting on a few quarantine pounds, and probably a little more alcohol consumption than normal. But So- having a routine, Yes. and working out, that kind of makes
Oh,
up for it. And I imagine being on a beautiful island with a beach really helps. Yeah.
Oh.
So, all right. So we want to know your top 5 best travel experiences.
Top 5 travel experiences. That is a tough one. I don't know if we can narrow it down to exactly 5. We're just going to go and kind of riff it here and think off the top of our heads.
And these are in no particular order.
No, but I can think of one that stands out is it was a bus ride of all things. So you think a bus ride, we were taking a bus to go somewhere else, but we were in Santiago in Chile, and we found a luxury bus for a very affordable price, but it was a 10-hour bus drive to go into Argentina, but it was through the Andes Mountains. And that was, we knew it was going to be beautiful. In fact, we could have taken a flight there for the same price, and it was only a 25-minute flight, but everybody said, you have to take this bus.
Yeah, and the thing about the bus is that it was a double-decker
Double-decker.
bus, and we happened to, well, I would only do this if you could get the very front seats on the top, which we did. So we had this amazing view in front of us.
And it was honestly another planet up there. It didn't even seem like planet Earth. It was
and the terrain
it was like Mars or
changed
something.
a lot. It was it was really, really amazing.
Yeah, and it was basically the whole time it was pretty much that. So about 8 hours of incredible mountains. So that's definitely stands out. Other ones I have to think of Bocas del Toro in Panama.
One of our favorite places.
Panama gets overlooked, but Bocas del Toro is on the Caribbean, but it's a series of islands all clumped together. There's some expats there, which means you're going to get some good food and things like that, but it's very much local. And to get to each island, you take boats, and when I mean boats, I mean
called water taxis. Basically.
Yeah,
so it works much like a taxi.
You can just go out and wave anywhere, wave a shirt, wave a flag, whatever you have, and someone will show up. It's not like you're going to a dock and officially get on a boat.
You can do that too.
You can, but it's much more unique. I've never seen a place do that. The whole section of Bocas, you can do this and just hop over to another island, and each island's different. So that is a really special place, I would say.
Super special.
Go ahead.
Next up, we had two. We couldn't narrow this down to one, but in Malaysia we did some super cool things. One was we stayed at probably the most luxurious place we've ever stayed at, and we had an overwater bungalow, which was really, really amazing. It was a beautiful
on a
beautiful
private
resort.
island.
It's called Pangkorlot, if anyone's wondering.
Which was really cool. So yeah, we were on a private island. There's more than just one villa there or one water bungalow, but it was a really unique experience. and just very luxurious and over the top. And it was our first, sort of our first water bungalow at the time, because in Bocas
Well, we did do one
that
in
too.
Bocas as well, but it was not, the one in Bocas was a little bit more rustic.
Yeah.
It was neat, but it was,
Yeah,
not luxury.
that was great. And then not too far from there, about an hour or two north, is Penang. And Penang in Malaysia, you guys know we love to eat our food, but that is considered, a lot of people consider Penang is like the food capital of Asia.
Street food in particular.
Street food, yeah. So that was
It was
amazing.
amazing.
Everywhere you go, there's street food.
It's definitely
vendors.
one of our top food places ever, maybe our top food place. So
Oh, yeah.
that's definitely up there in terms of one of our favorite experiences.
Yeah, we ate some delicious food there. Other one I would say is Bali, just in general. And I think some people might be surprised at that, because Bali is a very big touristic destination. But for people that haven't been to Bali, I don't think they realize just how big the island is. The other thing is they don't realize how much traffic's on the island as well. But the thing that's unique about Bali, and I always say to people, is like, you can't walk 10 feet without getting smacked in the face with traditional culture. You know, like
And it's very unique, I think, especially to Indonesia. They have their I think most of Indonesia is Muslim, whereas in Bali they are
Hindu.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's just really cool, like the Balinese culture.
There's temples everywhere, and they build their homes into
Everywhere.
temples.
Yeah.
And they put offerings on the ground every day. They're just little offerings to the gods, and they're just a little thing with like rice and a bunch of other things in it.
And it's also big enough just in general. Bali has different sections, like you might have heard of Canggu or Ubud, things like that, Seminyak. There's something for everyone. Like a lot of people go to Seminyak to party, people go to Canggu because it's kind of hip and there's surfers there, and there's trendy restaurants. You go to Ubud to relax, get massages. This time we went north where there's nothing. And that was even more relaxing. We found waterfalls, and it was
with nobody there.
with nobody there.
And the other neat thing about Bali is that you can get super some of probably the best luxury resorts in the world, or you can stay at really nice places. They're not luxury, but they're really nice with a pool and a kitchen.
And so
like,
affordable.
For like $10 to $20. It's amazing.
$10 to $20 a night. So, yeah, Bali's high on our list. It's just every time we go, we really like it. And I think maybe another one, once, a couple of years ago, we were in Croatia, and we decided to rent a car and drive all the way down to Montenegro.
Yeah, from Dubrovnik we rented it.
Dubrovnik,
Dubrovnik to, into Montenegro.
And then we drove it back to Split in Croatia.
Yeah,
so
beautiful.
Yeah, what a ride that is, because you're right on the Mediterranean there, and there's so many
when we got
mountains.
into Montenegro, we were in the Bay of Kotor, and it's just stunning.
Yeah, look up, if anyone watching doesn't know Kotor, it's Kotor. It's just out of this world, one of those places you wouldn't think exists. Montenegro is not on the radar for a lot of people traveling.
But it should be.
It should be. This is Kotor is not too far from Dubrovnik, and whew, what a place.
Yeah.
Like, what an absolute place. But driving back was cool, because we got to go through, I forget what the pass is called, but there's a whole nother mountain system there, which is kind of like the Andes that I mentioned before when we were in Chile going to Argentina. It just looks out of this world. I mean, it's just, you're driving through crazy tunnels, and there's just mountains, kind of like the Rockies or something like that. It's just hard to believe they even exist.
Yeah. I think we have one more we haven't mentioned yet.
Oh.
Which is one of our maybe our favorite country.
Okay.
Which is island hopping in Greece.
Yeah.
You can pick your own islands.
Greece.
I mean, we've done it a couple times. There's so many different island clusters.
Yeah, I know. Greece is one of those, like, we knew going in we were going to love it, and we did go to Santorini like most people would. We didn't do Mykonos, though. But the thing we fell in love with Greece, I would say, is just how different each island is, right? Like, they're so different, and they're like, it's almost like a different trip.
Yeah, it's like they all have their own unique culture, unique vibe. They all look a little bit different. I know, like, when you're in Cyclades, it's very whitewashed and all that. But then last year we did Dodecanese Islands. Is that what they're called?
I think that's what they're called.
And like Simi, which was all these like colorful.
Yeah, it looked
buildings,
almost like
looked totally different.
What's that place in Italy? I never remember. Positano.
Positano.
Yeah, like it just
like
doesn't look like Greece. And then if you go to Crete, which we did as well, which is just one of those places that are also out of this world, that looks nothing like Greece. You know, like, I don't even know that.
Reminds me more of Turkey or something.
Like when we were in Turkey, it does remind me of Turkey. Like, the buildings are totally different. So Greece is high on our list. I'm sure that's not a surprise to a lot of people, and we want to get back again just to go see more islands. So.
I think we could go back to Greece probably 50 times and still see new things every time.
I don't know if we named 5 or 6 there, but
I think it might have been 7.
hopefully that works.
Sorry.
Wow, Panama and Croatia. Oh yeah, Yeah, Croatia and Montenegro are on our list for sure. As is Greece. We've never been to Greece,
Yeah.
but you guys, I think that's one of the things we really have enjoyed about your vlogs is the fact that you do go places that aren't super common. I mean, you obviously go to some of the big places, but you really do manage to get off the beaten path and find some different areas that there aren't a lot of other videos on.
No.
So, and you've definitely given us some ideas of different places to go and see, and that just have not been on our radar at all. And Bali is definitely one that's
Yes.
on our list. So, kind of learning about the different areas and just how diverse it is and big it is, right? I
Yeah,
mean, that's a big
exactly.
thing.
And then I guess probably one of our last questions is, what are your plans after this whole quarantine pandemic is over with and you're able to either travel again, go home, whatever it is?
Right, because we knew you had said at one point you looked at flights getting home and it was going to be like $7,000 a flight, which is,
We don't blame you for just staying put.
yeah, I mean, yeah. And who knows? I mean, Canada seems to be doing okay, but where you are is obviously better in terms of number of cases. So, yeah, what is that going to look like for you guys? What do you think you'll do? Will you go back to Canada? Will you travel there? What are your plans?
So we don't know when we're going to get home, of course. We wish we
We're
knew.
waiting for domestic flights to open up here, maybe June 1st. As I
Yeah.
said, they keep doing things in like 2-week increments. So right now we're waiting for June 1st to hit. If that doesn't happen, then it'll be the 15th. We don't want to book anything until they officially announce that domestic flights are opening up so that we know we can get to Manila.
Yeah, we have it in our heads that it's probably going to be sometime in late June. But when we get home, I don't know. Now our plans are so up in the air. We know domestic travel is going to be very popular thing to do because I assume in July you're not going to be able to do international travel. So we might do something around Canada. We are
Road trip.
maybe a road trip, maybe something on the East Coast. So that could be fun. If international travel opened back up, I'd love to say, we've been saying it in some of our videos, but it'd be nice to get back over here to Thailand, but I don't know if that makes sense to go all the way over and then all the way
I'm
back.
sure that won't be for a while until we sadly get back here.
So we'll see. So then we're also, because we're trying to figure out ways to get home, there's other countries starting to slowly break some news on, like Greece said in July they're going to be open for tourists, which is interesting to think about. So if something made sense where we could get to a country like that, just to kind of get
Iceland
us.
said it too.
Iceland said it, yeah.
So maybe if
Halfway
they're
home.
allowing people to come in, we could do a pit stop.
Yeah, pit
somewhere.
stop, or just to get us halfway there, because right now it's too expensive to get home, even if we could find a flight. But we're hoping if some countries open back up, maybe prices will go down, and we'd certainly explore going halfway if the country's doing good with the whole virus thing. So there's a lot of factors to play in. So I think we're going to have to be creative, and for now we're just going to have to wait this out. So that's it for us, you guys. We really appreciate you guys asking us to come on here and answer some questions. It pushed us to think about our top 5 experiences. That's something we never really thought about before. I'm sure that could change daily if the more I think about all the places we've been to. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun answering these questions, and we both hope that you are doing well there and you're staying safe, all the regular quarantine stuff that people say.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
We so appreciate you taking the time to be here. We really, really do appreciate it.
Yes, thank you.
And, hope you guys stay safe, figure out a way to get home, and we look forward to meeting you real time very soon. Thanks, guys.
See ya.
Bye, y'all.